Today, I'm going to be searching every corner of Japan to find the best Nintendo Switch games, accessories, and everything else. I've got 3 main things on my bucket list for everything that I need to buy, so let's get into it. I actually landed in Japan only last night, and I'm starting this off strong by going to the Nintendo store and the Pokemon Center in Tokyo. That's apparently got the best stuff, so that's going to be awesome. The first game on my list of things to buy today is one called Pokken Tournament. This was a Japan exclusive game when it was first made, and I haven't been able to get my hands on it ever. But hopefully I'll be able to find it somewhere in Japan. Don't worry, I'll reveal what the Pokemon are really soon, but the mystery item, that stays a mystery. So I was just walking around the mall trying to find the Nintendo store, but I've ended up in a retro game shop. I mean, it's got so many classic like GBA games, SNES. This is sick. I mean, I'm not going to be able to buy any because they're super expensive and Japanese releases, so even if I did play them, I wouldn't be able to speak the language that the game is speaking. But still, this is awesome. There's so much stuff here. This is more retro games I've seen in quite a while. Even though I probably won't play them, I do just want to go through some of these games. I mean, this is in English. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. I mean, that's pretty cool. I don't really collect retro consoles, but Beck does have a SNES system, which is pretty awesome. And then I also use her Game Boy from now and then. So if we find games for the SNES, which I mean, these are, so if I find some cool games, Final Fantasy IV? That would be awesome to get, actually. Hey guys. I think I found the Nintendo store. Okay, this is way more crowded than I thought it would be, but I can already see a whole bunch of games and everything that I want. So I'm in the Pokemon store at the moment, but there's about 200 people in line to check out. The line for the checkout goes around and then uses just half of the shop, just curling to the actual checkout. I can't believe how insane it is here, but I mean, it's Pokemon. People love Pokemon. After looking around, I don't think I can get item 1 here, but I can get item 2. And item 2 is the Pokemon, which is either Gengar or Fletching. Those are my 2 favorite Pokemon of all time. There are others that I love as well, of course. All of my starters for every game, I love them to bits. Which, by the way, are only fire starters. I only choose the fire ones. But there's a lot of Gengar and no Fletchling so far. So we'll have to make a look out for them. I found him! Look, there we go. That's 2,400 yen for that little guy. I mean, if we can't find anything else, this little guy is absolutely perfect. I love that. Okay, that's going in the basket, 100%. So if I want to get this stuff in plushies, there's about 3 different types. There's these ones that are, this that goes for about 2,400 yen. There's these big guys, which are about 5,000 yen. And then there's these teeny tiny guys, which are about 1,300 yen. And honestly, I love these so much. They're so tiny, but also the big ones are really cool with me. I mean, they're so nice. And they're also weighted, which is really cool. But I think I might be kicking myself when we get back to the hotel room and I have one of those because they're so massive and that's like all the room in my suitcase. But I just cannot find a Gengar anywhere. I mean, I thought I'd be able to find Gengar faster than I got Fletching, but I can't.
And I really couldn't find a Gengar plushie. I even asked a staff member and they said they were all sold out of any Gengar plushies. Even though everywhere else, there was everything else Gengar merch. There was Gengar face masks, Gengar lip balm, just so much stuff. So instead of Gengar, I ended up getting a few packets of Pokemon cards and an actual life-size Pokeball, which is really cool. But next up was Nintendo Tokyo.
To get into the Nintendo store, they give you a slip to show like what time you can enter the store because of how busy it gets. They've got to have a system like that. If you come to Tokyo and you're wondering where to get those, just go to the little Mario that's just out the door. Can you guys see that? I'm sure you can. Made it into the Nintendo shop. This is way too cool. I've gone to the Splatoon stuff. I don't play Splatoon, but still. And inside the Nintendo store was pretty much anything you could imagine that's Nintendo. We're talking all the mainline games, a plushie of just about every item you can use, apart from the good ones that you would want to buy. I guess everyone else has got to those. Almost every amiibo for every Smash character and a whole bunch of Zelda stuff. There was an equal amount of Zelda to Pikmin stuff, which I found weird, and then there was an equal amount of Splatoon to Mario stuff, which I also found really weird. I didn't know Splatoon was that big. Maybe a little bit less than Mario, but it was still a decent chunk of the store just Splatoon. And it might have just been that I saw more Splatoon stuff because no one was in the Splatoon areas, and I didn't see much Mario stuff because everyone was standing in front of the Mario section. But I don't know, it was just a bit of a surprise to me. I ended up grabbing a couple little things, and then I put them down, and before I had even bought them, I had buyer's regret, Which isn't a very good feeling when you go to buy something and you haven't bought it and you feel regret for even like picking it up. But my main goal was to get Pokken Tournament. And I went through all the Switch games and they basically had every single Nintendo official release of every single game. They had all the Pokemon games, all the Mario games, every single official Nintendo release apart from Pokken Tournament. Which, I mean, I didn't know this game was that hard to get.
It's not here. Why would it not be here?
Now, when I went to check out, I had a few items, and after fumbling all my cash, I've got the loot right here. To start off with, probably the best thing is my little Mario Kart main. It's a Yoshi. I absolutely love it, little green Yoshi. Then to add to my pin collection, which I'm hoping to do a lot of while I'm here, I got a little Koopa, which I'm super happy with. I absolutely love how that looks. It's just small enough that it's like nice, but just big enough that you can have all the details, which is really cool. And then the last thing I bought, I mean, I don't regret buying it. I just don't know why I felt the need to buy it. It's a Super Mario flannel. It was 800 yen. I bought a flannel at the Nintendo store in Tokyo. I say that like I regret the purchase. I don't. I'm so happy with this. It's a Super Mario flannel. But also, it's a Super Mario flannel. What am I doing with this? But I'm not here to get merch. I'm here to get games. Which is why we have to head to the next game store. Let's go.
The next day, I headed to Donkey, which is like a 6-story massive store with just about everything you would want. Apart from Pokken Tournament, apparently. They had a bunch of Nintendo games and accessories and that kind of thing, but just no Pokken Tournament, which was really a bummer. But that doesn't mean I walked out empty-handed.
So at first glance, I can't see like Pokken Tournament anywhere, which is a bit of a bummer. There's a lot of... That's mine. There we go. That's a bonus. There's a lot of stuff is what I was saying, a lot of this kind of stuff. So I'm actually quite happy with that, but there is no Pokken Tournament, which is definitely a bummer.
And it wasn't just Kirby that I found. I found a lot of Gengar, but really just no Gengar plushies.
And I've already stumbled across a couple of Gengar things. We've got here the Gengar backpack, the Gengar backpack, and believe it or not, the Gengar backpack. But I don't want a backpack. I just want like a basic nice plush. It's there. Finally I've found this guy. There he is. All right. Nice. Unless we can find one that's slightly bigger, that's not the $40 massive version. I think this might be the one we're going with. So we officially found all of item number 2. That's perfect.
Now, even though this Gengar plush was pretty cool, I didn't end up buying it because it was just such low quality. I wanted to get something that was good. I wanted to make sure that if I was spending my money, I was buying something that wasn't going to fall apart. So I got the Kirby plush and then headed to Bic Camera. Bic Camera is a massive electronics store, but I knew it had one floor of video games. And after heading down all those stairs, it really did. There was quite a big Nintendo section with a lot of secondhand games. So I had a quick look through and then got this shot for you guys where I sort of just like go over the whole section. And this was actually the moment I saw, oh wait, Pokken Tournament's right there. I didn't even properly look through anything. I just saw it through my camera as I was filming this for you guys. And before I picked it up, I looked at all of the switches that were around and they were kind of just loose on display, which is something you would never see in Australia because they would be gone in about 10 seconds. But I picked up the game and I was a bit bummed out that the cover was really pre-owned. You can tell it had been through quite a few owners for quite a few years before it got to this store. But I also found the ultimate Gengar plush. Look at this guy. This is high quality. It had plastic eyes, it had nice stitching, it was the one.
I think I've officially found the perfect Gengar.
And when I went to buy the game, they actually took about 5-10 minutes to find the cartridge out the back, and they came out with a fully new version of the game. So I wasn't buying a pre-owned one, I was buying a brand new one, which was really cool. So I was really happy leaving Bic Camera that evening. And after going through the other floors and looking at all the other handheld gaming, I kind of just spent the evening walking around Shibuya, and I ended up poking my head into a few other stores, but I didn't buy anything else that night. Now today was awesome because we're headed to Round 1, which is known to be the biggest arcade in Japan. So we took the train down to the nearest Round 1 where it was just filled with claw machines. Now the one we saw online had like batting cages and mechanical bulls and that kind of thing, but we accidentally went to the wrong one. We kind of just went to the one that was filled with claw machines. So I exchanged 2,000 yen into coins and put it into a bunch of different machines and just tried my luck at everything. It was actually really, really cool. Or so I thought. I kind of lost all of that money. After wasting all that money, I headed upstairs and realized there were arcade machines here. This guy was going absolute ham on the Dance Dance Revolution. I found myself a drumming game and then played some Mario Kart, because you guys know I love Mario Kart. Then one floor up, I think was the gambling area, because there were fake horse races and a bunch of slot machines. I mean, I started playing the slot machines and I got 3 sevens. I won. It started spitting out a whole bunch of tokens and I didn't know what to do with them. So I kind of just left them there. Oh, and then I won again with 3 grapes. But then we were out of round 1 and it was time for me to find my final third item. Third mystery item is just that, a mystery. I headed around to some of the biggest gacha stores around Tokyo. And what gacha stores are, is they're just filled with these machines where you put coins in and then you get a mystery prize coming out of them in like a different theme. So I found a lot of Nintendo ones. One of my favorites was this little sleeping Kirby, but I found Mario themed ones, Pokemon themed ones, even Sesame Street themed ones. I really wanted this big bird, but I ended up getting Abby Gabby, which is a bit of a bummer. And the top one I found was this Back to the Future one, where after 4 tries, I got all 3 DeLoreans from all 3 different movies. This was just so cool. My favorite machine that I found overall. And just keep this between you and me, but I did spend almost 7,000 yen on this, which again, I'm trusting you to keep this between you and me, is about $70-80 Australian. Yeah, I'm disappointed in myself as well. But I mean, come on, look at all these cute little things. And if you want to see what it was like in my first 24 hours in Japan, check out this video right here. And if you want to come on my journey around Japan with me, subscribe.